Yeah.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind their back. And I'm talking to myself last night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And the music coming through my eyes
You know, it is the summertime, and Mother Nature has not given Michael's baby cigarettes enough water to have them grow. So we lost one. Dave the Rooster Charters decided that bean juice and breaking the law on a boat, catching some sort of a fish for him to do whatever kind of weird and twisted things he does with fish,
Right.
is more important in this program. Wesky West Higgins. Oh, that man decides that he needs a job to pay bills. Fuck you, Wes.
Who needs that?
What we got here today is the real Nocturnal Emissions people. The people who are here through thick and thin. And there's only one way to talk to them. And that is do a little thing on this show we call a theme song. Hey everybody, welcome to Live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late night talk show and the greatest podcast ever to come out of a pool shed in Pine Grove, Ontario, bar none. And I believe we are that way because we have the greatest band in Canadian late night history, the Nocturnal Emissions.
That's right.
Comprised this week of a great lineup of musicians. Braden DeCooman on vocals and guitar, everyone. Beside him, plucking away on lead is Steve the Reluctant German, everyone. Hey. And as per CRTC rules, and also just because he's a darn good guy, we have our token Frenchman, the French tickler Kev Belanger is here.
Hello, hello.
And doing the job of director, I have an inferior sibling doing this job. But I decided we're going to take this show to the next level. We're going to get somebody who's a step above my brother. This is my sister, Laurie Ball is here, everyone. Super fan, everyone. And shareholder.
I'm directed.
And me, you wondering who I am? Well, I'm your host of this show. I'm two-time President's Club Award winner. What?
I thought that was my job.
You want to do it?
Now, introducing the host of Live from the Dutch Hall, two-time President's Club Award winner, Peter Van Dyke.
Laurie.
Sorry about that.
I didn't know. We didn't talk about it before. I didn't know you had it in you. I didn't want to put the pressure on you, but you really kicked the crap out of it. It was great.
I hope
You
it
know,
sounded all right.
but to be honest, I don't like Peter Van Dyke to be billed as Peter Van Dyke. I've been building a
Pete.
brand.
Oh.
Pete.
Pete.
Yeah, Pete, because
Man of the
Peter
people.
Peter, I know.
Is-
I'm sorry.
is not a man of the people, but Pete's a guy you sit around, you'll shoot the breeze with. Eh? He's a friend. He's the person you invite in your house.
Every Thursday.
Peter's auditing you, right?
But not in a tax way.
Not in a tax way. You sound holy today, Braden.
I sound holy.
Yeah. I like it.
These lights.
I like to make you talk while Kevin's freaking out about you talking. That's the more fun part.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
But you have been. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. Number one, it's going to be a heavily sexualized show, Laurie. I hope you don't mind. But there's just so much going on in the world, especially in our province of Ontario, with regard to sex, that I think we have to talk about it. We have to give our 2 cents worth,
I
right?
agree.
And have you been following it, Braden?
Not at all.
Good. We need one person with no knowledge that can throw in just purely opinion-based stuff. We were actually, for the show that we quoted for next week, Tyler Shazma played that role in a new game that we played. I thought it turned out really good, where we just we give him a headline, and then Shaz would just tell me the story of what it was all about.
Sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, he didn't even know about those minor kids, those Thai
Oh, in
soccer
Thailand,
boys.
yeah.
So he had to tell his own little yarn about it. So tune in next week if you want to listen to Shazma tell the story of the Thai soccer boys stuck in what are they stuck in? A well?
A cave.
A cave? I don't care.
Lassie found them.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I really don't care. Yeah, it's like not. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like there's bad things happening everywhere. Some of it's not on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So those people are what everyone's caring about because it's on TV, but there's probably somebody else having something real sad happen to them.
Someone died in a well last week.
Oh, really?
Probably.
Probably.
Jimmy.
Yeah. It's a big world, man. There's a lot of shit happening going
we didn't
down.
even hear about it.
Yeah. Anyways, our province. I want to get to this before we get to segment that we call feedback. I'll tell you something. Steve mailed it in with his overhand feedback thing. I never even seen that. That's better. But I want to talk about Rob Ford, our premier of our province. He's our new premier. And he went and he said, I'm going to stick to my promise as premier of this province. I said I was going to do away with Kathleen Wynne's new curriculum for sex education. And I'm gonna go back to the old way that it was in 1998.
Yeah.
Right? Which to me sounds like not too long ago.
Back in the Mike Harris days.
Was
Yeah.
that when it was?
Yep.
Mike Harris came up with a new curriculum,
Yeah.
right, on sex ed, which brought it up to date to include what? Penises and vaginas?
Probably.
Because as far as I'm concerned,
Dry humping, I think.
isn't sex always been the same since the beginning of time? You put your dick in.
Well,
Yeah. There's two sets of this is it. One curriculum for the rest of the time. I'll tell you what I think it should be. Okay?
Okay.
Because Kathleen Wynne's curriculum, let's just go through the objection to the new curriculum was that it was too far. It was teaching children about things that they didn't need to know about yet. That's what the conservative people would say. They would say that they don't need to know about transgender stuff or lesbian mothers or whatever, that sort of stuff. It makes them all uptight, because they're conservative. So they're like, no, none of that stuff, right? And I'm like, but because that's the updated stuff is all the new sex, new gender and stuff, right? Is that correct?
Yes, but it's also targeted, right? So if you are in junior kindergarten, you're not going to be learning about transgender issues. You'll be learning about consent, and consent can just even be somebody eating your snacks or sharing whatever, right?
Yeah, which is safety things for kids, which is good to do, right?
Yeah.
And and so that's left out of the.
That's the new stuff. So we're not going to talk about that stuff anymore.
Oh, okay. So there was some good stuff and some that they're doing away with.
It was age appropriate, and I've got 4 daughters, right? So I think about the things that the boys who want to date my daughters think my daughter's going to be into because of the internet and what they've seen. So if I can help my daughter at all not be anally fisted on her first date because that's what the expectation is, then I'd be really okay if maybe there's some extra care given in the curriculum.
That was third date material when we were kids. Come on.
Exactly.
You gotta wait a little while.
Wow,
But
man.
it's crazy.
Kids
That's
these
what I
days.
think.
Well, you guys are a lot younger than me and Steve, and so like when I was getting sex education, it was in the 80s, right? So my education on sexuality would be so outdated now; it'd be laughable, right? You guys will learn stuff I didn't learn. There's new sex, right, that I don't even know about.
It's like
There
the
is.
new math.
Yeah, it must be. It must be like the new math. That's what I'm thinking. Like, does it involve all the stuff I see on like the porn sites? Does it involve like is the new sex curriculum involve like spitting and like choking and
Having no knowledge, I'm gonna say yes. Yes, it does.
a lot of like another contraceptive is blowing it on your girlfriend's face. That's a contraceptive because you can't get pregnant by getting it out of your eyelids,
God.
right? That's universal.
We can try though.
Is that the new stuff? Because I'm not into I don't really know the new stuff just from
get it.
pornography.
Can't
I
say
know
I
the
don't
old pornography didn't have. You didn't see a girl with a huge bush in like a 70s porno spitting on anyone's dick,
Nope.
Now
right?
you just don't see you don't see bush.
No, I don't
Yeah.
see bush. It's a
Not
thing of the
much.
past.
Oh.
I like the idea of it, eh? The idea of it.
Bush?
Yeah, bush.
Yeah, okay.
I like the idea of what
The
it
idea.
was,
I thought you were really into spitting.
No, not spitting. I don't like spitting. I don't understand it. Why you spit so much? Is it just that you're doing too much work? You need lubrication, but you figure there's better ways than just hawking a luke?
What kind of spitting are we talking about? Like just the aggressive, just spitting on each other for no reason,
Yeah.
or just like a
No.
good primer?
It's like if for a blowjob, for example, why do they got to spit on it? If they're giving the guy a blow, they're holding his dick and then they spit
Oh, well,
on it.
there's friction going on, so you got to lubricate.
Yeah, no, but that's what I
Continual
mean.
lubrication. That's like any sort of friction work.
But isn't it a sign of disrespect?
Oh, I don't
In some
know.
countries, in some cultures.
That's the way I was raised. If someone spits on me, I'm usually take it as a sign of offense. Like
Yeah.
they're saying something bad. But maybe I'm looking at it all wrong.
I wouldn't.
Maybe I
take,
just haven't meant to right.
I
but
take a
spit
lot
on
of
her.
things not as offense if that was happening to me. Though. Yeah, do
you
whatever you want.
Yeah,
Why are you wearing a Klan hood?
It is true. You can really give away bad news a lot better while you're getting a blowjob.
Yeah.
It's like if like just so you know, like my wife's in the room, she's not on mic or anything, but I'm gonna say it out loud so she can hear it. If you did something like if you smashed the car up or you like got like you made a foolish move with money or something, or you've like accidentally sucked a dick. No, no, I'm just kidding. Not the last one. But if you did something bad and you wanted to soften the blow of it, to tell me,
No pun
do it.
intended.
Yeah, do it while oral sexing it. Me would be a way to handle that. Is all I'm saying. It's a suggestion. I think
So,
Soften the blow.
soften the blowjob. Is that on the list of early show titles?
It's got to be.
Soften the blowjob.
Anyone
like
have a
it.
pen?
I'll have to write it down. Yeah, I don't have a pen either. All right, so so the other thing, that's Rob Ford's thing. So what did you think that they're missing out? They say they're still going to get it right though, Steve. They say they're still going to they're going back to the old one now because it's better than what they were proposing.
Right.
But they got to get the new one right. They know they have to still replace it, right?
Okay.
But that's the main thing is about like the good stuff that I didn't hear on the news was the consent stuff, like
Yeah.
the safety stuff for kids and that,
Yeah.
which is all good.
And
Yeah.
then
But when did they learn about like the dick and the vagina?
I'm sure it's all in there somewhere.
Yeah, but where do you think? How old should you be?
as soon as you can turn on a computer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
well, I mean,
biology.
like grade 6. I think I was in grade 6 when I had like my first sex ed.
Yeah, that makes
stuff.
sense, right? Grade 6.
Yeah. You're
That's
just about to
right.
get your, first pubic hairs. You should know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
What's
here's my
going on?
universal sex ed, right? You show a picture of a vagina, explain what it does or whatever, the whole baby stuff, and what it needs to make a baby is a sperm and all that stuff. And then you take the dick, right? Explain the dick, say where the sperm comes from and all that stuff. And then dick and vagina make baby, And then you go, okay, now you got dick and dick, right? And you do the dick and dick thing. You're like, look at that. You dock or whatever they do. And then you go like dick and butt, dick and mouth, right?
Yeah.
Then you'd go vagina, right?
Scissor action.
Scissor. Yeah, that's what Kathleen Wynne was upset about because when she took school, they didn't teach her scissoring. She learned it late in life. Turned out it was a life changer for her. She loved it, enjoyed it. That's not something I saw in the news either. Just made it up. mostly.
You had me.
Did you think that one was
Yeah,
real?
I can picture her being.
I do picture she probably has scissored. Wouldn't you think? That's like a go-to move in the lesbian community. I gotta have lesbians on the show to ask these questions
Does
because
that feel good?
Huh?
Would that feel? I don't know.
Yeah, it would
Well,
feel
maybe,
good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys are girls. Wouldn't it feel good to rub your vagina against another vagina? That seems like it would be good.
Seems a little boring.
What? Rubbing vaginas?
Yeah, it seems a little boring.
That seems intimate to me. That seems
Scissor
like a
expert
real
Kevin
private
Belonchet.
moment between two ladies. I don't see anything wrong with it. Lame?
Pedestrian scissoring.
Yeah. You know what that I think that is overblown? This is another gay issue, is anal sex, because I don't think a lot of dudes like it any more than the girls do. They just do it as a special occasion thing.
Yeah.
I think most of the time it's just like hand jobs.
As someone
and
who's never done it, I've asked people that have like to sell me on it. I don't have any just inherent interest in it. Like if she was like, do it, I'd be like, all right, but
you know,
I'm not gonna press the issue.
I think the people that do like it, I think they do like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
think so.
You know what? One of my favorite Norm Macdonald jokes is, you know what you never hear? I made love to her in the ass.
Actually, I swear I think I've heard somebody say that once.
Oh god.
Make love to me in my ass?
No, I think I've heard somebody say, I made love to her in her ass.
Made love. It's hard to make love there.
and that person
You're not
was
really
made
making
fun
love
of.
in
It's
there.
already making something else.
Yeah. You're just trying to get out of there fairly clean. I would imagine. Anyways, let's do a segment on this show that we call Feedback. We got feedback. We got feedback. Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback. This week's segment is brought to you by good friends at Amazon. If you'd like to go to Live from Dutch Hall's website, livefromthedutchhall.com, and click on our Amazon banners. Hey, if you have an ad blocker on, just shut it off for a bit, because then that's why you don't see those Amazon banners. And then you just do your shopping like normal if you shop there. And then we get money too. It doesn't cost you anything more, but then we get money. And you did nothing, really,
That's right.
other than go on my website and click on the banner.
It's so easy.
I don't know, you don't really want to give me money. You don't see the reason why me getting money would be good. But you got to understand, like, it's not just for me, it's for all of you listeners, too. Because with that money, we'll do stupid things with it. That's what I promise you.
Like buy headphones that aren't from 1980, where Kevin has what is that on the side there? A microphone?
You know what?
He's got the Phil Collins mic.
I think it's a Britney mic. And you know what? He's had that on for a few weeks, and I always see it and think, why haven't I busted his balls about it? And then you finally have brought it to our attention. Yeah, he's had the Britney mic for a few, but it doesn't work, right, Kev?
In fact, it does work. It's just a gaming headset, but I use it as a room mic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you guys obviously can't get that mic signal. It's just going straight into my headphones.
Yeah.
But I can hear the room really well, so that's why it's pointed at the back of the room.
Oh,
So I'm getting a real echo when I play the drums, and it sounds really good.
I thought it was out of
otherwise
embarrassment.
you can't even hear it.
yeah. But that's
It's also for Singing in the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Oh yeah. And Paul got Dave Charter's haircut a few weeks ago,
Oh, yeah.
and I didn't make fun of him for like 2 weeks straight. Didn't make fun of him, and now Paul's in Newfoundland
That's right.
because he wanted to finally meet somebody who is dumber than him, and he heard all the Newfie jokes. I'll tell you what, Paul, those are just jokes. It's not true at all. You are still going to be the dumbest person in that province. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I hope you don't take offense to that. He won't take offense to that, will he?
Why?
Why would he?
Just facts.
I want to see that right hand coming at me. I'm going to show you on air. Oh, this is yeah. They missed the beginning of the show, but that right hand comes at you. You gotta know it's coming. He can't work his left. He can't even scratch his butt with his left. Anyways, I'm telling you, Steve. If he ever pushes his luck, you know how to do it. You'll take him down.
Sure.
Just bite at his ankles. Oh, you know what? Norpac.
The beef people.
Yes,
wow.
Norpac.
The beef people.
That is a deep, deep beef people.
Rattlingly deep.
Enjoy it. Go to Norwich, get some beef. But where would you get it? Norpac.
The beef people.
Nor more about them. But Army Electric? I didn't know if Laurie would go right to the catch line with that one. Are you ready for Army Electric? Army Electric, you know that? My cousin Derek, he's a great electrician. He runs a great electrical company. So great, as a matter of fact, he doesn't need your goddamn business. So leave him alone, for heaven's sakes. He's busy. He's got better things to do. And when he's stressed out, he makes babies. And he's got enough of them, for heaven's sakes. Army Electric, if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. And if we don't get it right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself.
brought to you by Clean Flow. And you know what? It is the summertime. And if you're finding your summer's kind of dragging on, not as much fun as it has been in previous years, it's probably because you are getting duller as you age. It's because you've become an empty shell of what you used to be. The life that used to live within inside you is burned out. Yes, you're boring, and what you need is be rekindled by people who still know how to have a good time. So give us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, and we'll send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins. Some of them will be wearing bright yellow jackets provided by Clean Flow, and you're going to have the time of your life. And all it's going to
I
cost,
could really use a booking right now.
and all it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash, plus all of our expenses, which will be dear. And if you're not 100% satisfied, we're going to return that $100. But those expenses have run through our buddies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services,
Don't live your life in regret.
also brought to you by Clean Flow.
Nailed it.
Clean Flow lubricates all of our commercials to make them work.
We love Clean Flow.
Yes, they are the best.
I love Clean Flow.
So every week we ask our listeners, you know what, guys? Tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what you think of the show. And give us something called feedback. You know, this week I'm going to say right now, I didn't get a lot of it. There's been very, very few pieces of feedback that we've gotten. What was the last show we did? Do you remember? We did another one in between, now I forget. Oh, John Kretchen only sucks one tit. Yeah. That was a weird title. And you know, it wasn't as popular as you would expect from a catchy title like that.
So bizarre.
Yeah, I think his Kretchen's a little dated.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that his mouth was crooked like that. Do you know what would it be like? What would be a more modern reference that the kids would get? Who else has got like a stroke face? Anyone in pop culture have a stroke face now? No one, eh?
Kirk Douglas.
Kurt Douglas. They don't know who he is either. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta wait. There's not a lot, eh? What about
Maybe Michael J. Fox. Maybe.
He's got shaky face.
shaky face? I say Michael J. Fox. You would go with like a milkshake or a. What else you got? Shaken, not stirred, like a martini joke, right?
Paint shaker.
Paint shaker. I know that the one good joke they used for Muhammad Ali was always like if someone's a real Lothario, like Kevin, you know, like you'd say to Kevin's like real good with the ladies. So I'd be like, he spills more. Kev, when he goes to Turkey Point, he does real well down there. You know, he spilled more seed in Turkey Point than Michael J. Fox at a bird feeder. Right? That's an old joke people would use, but they use it with Muhammad Ali.
Sure
right?
is a joke.
Yeah, that's not true, eh, Kev?
I wish.
It's a nice to be at the butt of the joke is that you're good with they're good with ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
that'd be the good thing to get made fun of. What do you get made fun of? What's your standard?
Did I get made fun
Yeah,
of?
by your buddies. If your friends are making fun of you, what are they ribbing you about?
I don't know. What do you make fun of me for, Kev?
Skinny,
Yeah.
which has now become my people make fun of me for being skinny.
Oh,
It's not so
I,
funny.
s- I was told I looked like Braden the other day.
oh Jesus.
Uh,
Must really be bad.
I got we had a Portuguese friend who had a real hairy back all the time we knew him, and we used to make fun of him so much because we were just like these hairless 20-year-olds, you know. And then he was this like furry bear, and then he got so self-conscious about it that he got it all lasered off or something. So now he has a beautiful bare back, and we're all in our 40s with these like hairy mess backs. The only guy that we made fun of about that is the one with the nice bare back.
It's crazy.
His shoulders are still a wreck, though. Anyways, anyways, no one really gave us any feedback this week except for one lady who went out of her way to do it again. I guess I'll sing this one, eh? It's our good friend from Delhi, the second mouse. It's the cheese lady. Let's check on her. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, cheese lady. Let's see what she's done. Yeah. All right. Mailed it in. I mailed it in because I didn't really think of the rhyme at the end one. So Teresa, who has become our new regular super fan. Our previous one was a Haitian dwarf who had been with us like since the beginning, and then Teresa from the second mouse in Delhi started dropping us off cheese and winning our hearts over with free food, which we love so much. And then she give us feedback every week. And the Haitian dwarf became a little bit more elusive. And then the Haitian dwarf gave us feedback last week about Teresa, the cheese lady.
Crazy.
And now I'm looking at the cheese lady, and all of her stuff is about the Haitian dwarf.
No way.
So we've really brought these two together.
Amazing.
So she goes, "Oh, chicken on the cheese lady, crack me up. I love you guys, ha ha." That was with regard to his. And then she says, "Is the Asian dwarf a little short upstairs?" She said, "Asian dwarf. He needs to come to the shop, and I'll give him a wee sample." Okay. Well, number one, he is not Asian. He is Haitian, and you can tell that by his AIDS. Sorry. No. But is he short upstairs? We don't know. He's given us. He's all over the map, really. We don't know what kind of a man he is. We've never met him in real life. But if Haitian dwarf, if you'd like to, go to Delhi, find the second mouse, and if you go in there and identify yourself as the Haitian dwarf, Teresa, take a picture of him. Please take a picture of him before you give him the cheese, okay? So that we can have a spotting. And then she will give you a wee bit of cheese, and that's all you'll probably need with your little tummy. So thank you very much, Teresa. And if you guys would like to give us any feedback, you can definitely do it at liveandutchhall@gmail.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat, and all that bullshit. Thank you everybody that talks to us. Also tell friends and share and like and do all that crap. That's all great.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Is that the way to say it?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
That's the fucking
damn it.
most
Share it to all
douche
your
chill.
friends.
Oh, man. It hurts
And
me to
family.
hear it.
Yeah, it's very douche.
It makes me feel vomit in the bottom of my throat, like right in that part of my throat
Yeah.
when I hear it. Like, I'm like,
I
oh,
kind of got
my
it when
stomach
I did it.
just a couple degrees.
it really does make me ill to hear that douchiness. Well, I was going to say, there's been a trend going on in the world, which is happening lately with people who are very low-level celebrities who are like dating super hot chicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, these guys kind of seem normal. And then you see the women they're with and like, that's not normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So like, I don't know what you'd say in the past, but I'll give you some present day examples, okay? I have even like pictures of these people so you can see it.
Wow.
This is gonna
Right.
be fun.
Wow.
So like this one, I don't expect you guys to know this because I don't have my sports people in, but this fella, do you know who this guy is? No? This is a hockey player.
Oh, he's a hockey player.
He's a hockey player. His name's PK Subban. He used to play for the he's from
Montreal
Toronto.
Canadiens?
He used to play for the Montreal Canadiens. Now he plays for the Nashville Predators. PK Subban, regular dude from Toronto, just a regular. I wouldn't. What do you think, Laurie? Is he handsome?
He's cute.
Cute?
Why not? Look at him.
He's okay. He's okay at best. He's just a regular guy. Plays
All right,
hockey. He's just some
let's-
dude from Toronto.
Let's see his girlfriend.
I'm just saying, his girlfriend,
It was probably
Lindsey Vonn.
Wow.
She did Tiger Woods and stuff, and she was like an athlete of her own. And she's actually nude in this picture. It's just
it's
paint.
painted on.
Painted on. She's actually but I'm saying this is a regular dude, just a regular Canadian guy who's like good at playing a sport, but he's just a regular dude. I've seen him in a lot of interviews. And this chick is like way out of his goddamn league.
Maybe he's really charismatic and funny.
Okay. Next example, Laurie. Let's just see all the evidence here. Here, you know this guy? This guy's name is Colin Jost. You know him?
Stop moving the page.
Oh, sorry. There's the page if you want to look at it. Colin Jost. He's the
Is he a comedian?
anchor on a Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with Michael Che, right?
All right.
Oh yeah.
No, this guy. I mean, granted, he's a educated fellow. He's not an unhandsome fellow, but he's just a guy that writes jokes.
Okay.
He's a regular dude, stand-up that's like half the time not funny. That thinks he's a piece of garbage. You know, regular dude, right?
Okay.
This is his girlfriend. Is this one, Scarlett Johansson. You ever heard of Scarlett Johansson, Laurie?
Yeah.
Yes,
I just
I
seen
have.
her boobs.
Yeah.
She's like a super hot girl,
Yeah.
like top-notch movie star.
Yeah.
How the heck does he do that?
Again, maybe he's funny.
Look at this fella right here,
Oh, Pete Davidson.
Oh no.
Pete Davidson, also from Saturday Night
He's
Live.
funny looking.
He's funny looking, you said, right off the hop, right?
No, I mean,
Well, Pete Davidson is like
sure
he's
he's
a
really funny,
gargantuan. He's very tall and super skinny. His eyes bug out. He's got like big goofy teeth, right? He's all knobby and weird. He doesn't give a shit about like this is as regular a dude as they come. You don't get any more regular
yeah.
than this guy. He's unimpressive in every way. Every way.
Is he funny, Braden? You seem
Yeah.
like you watch a lot of him.
Yeah, he's fun.
Oh,
He's
that's what
funny.
he's got.
Ariana Grande, he's engaged to be married to her.
Oh really?
Yeah. What you want to know why? He asked her because he's like, this is fucking incredible. I'm going to take as far as I can because it's obviously going to end sometime soon because it's a cruel, cruel joke. There's no way that this. She's like I feel bad about saying it, but I would I'd crawl through shards of glass to suck the dick of the last man that banged a girl looks like this. You know, she's an attractive woman.
Very
you know?
attractive.
But this guy, he did nothing at all. Just talked about smoking weed and his
Right.
dick, jerking off. This guy's just a stand-up. He's just a normal person. And this gets this. How does this happen, right? So explain to me, fellas. Have you ever... No, I have. Look at my wife.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, look at my wife. I get that. I got that. I accomplished it, right? You guys, have you ever in your lifetime been able to land a woman that you knew that you had no business in the world being with someone this hot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. He
Couple
said.
times.
No.
Because I know I messaged you before, and I
Yes.
said there was one, but there's two.
Two now.
There's
Okay.
two.
Well, the one that you messaged me about was an interesting one because you said she was damaged.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's how you got her, right?
I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, how much younger was she than you?
She was actually older than me.
She was older than you.
Yeah, I was 17, she was 18.
Oh, but she was super hot.
Yeah.
But then she ended up dating an old guy when she was done with you. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay,
She
so
ended up marrying a guy that was 25 or 26 years older than her.
oh yeah.
So she had some daddy.
But you didn't. You
Ish.
wouldn't have filled that role.
No, I know.
Yeah, because you
I don't know.
s-
Maybe she was having a lesbian phase or something like that.
Aw, that's not nice to yourself.
No, I know.
Hey, do you do you scissor?
Oh god.
Yeah.
All day, all night.
Does that feel good when you just rest
Oh,
your balls in the girl's vagina and just scissor with her? I should try that. That might be fun.
Call it hot air ballooning.
Hang it. Yeah, hot air ballooning. We might have started that. Okay, hot air ballooning is when you put your balls, when a man scissors a woman, and with his balls into her vagina in the crack of it.
It'll be trending before you know it.
It's called hot air ballooning.
Patent pending.
That'll be in the new curriculum for the
right.
Ontario government.
Take
They'll
that
teach
forward.
our kids once they get to grade 4.
Yeah.
You learn about hot air ballooning.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Motorboating and all the fun things.
Yeah. Can you put it on the 4 shot, Laura?
Yeah,
And just double click.
I did it.
Okay. And so we have oh shit. I forgot what I was gonna say. What are we talking about? Oh, hot chicks.
Hot
Yes,
chicks.
swinging hot chicks.
Swinging
Outta your
hot
league.
chicks. So you got this girl, you felt she was out of your league, but you were still young.
Yeah.
Right? Second girl then.
That was the first girl.
That was the first girl.
That was the first one. The second one was
Yeah.
just like a one night stand.
One night stand?
Yeah.
How did you meet her?
Tinder.
Oh really?
Yeah. late at night on Tinder.
And she liked you, and you like, so that has to,
Yeah.
it has to be like a physical only like attraction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was, you were like swiped on her, but like never thought it would come true. Like never
well,
thought you would
I have a method when I go through Tinder of just write, and then sort them out later.
Oh,
It saves a lot of time.
I've heard a lot of people with that strategy. I heard another guy just say he always does that, but he doesn't even sort them out. He just like says they're all great.
Yep.
He just enjoys them all.
Who's this guy?
He likes it. He did like it for a while. I don't want to get him in trouble now because he got a girlfriend. But,
I see.
well, he doesn't do it now, I'm sure. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's a dirty dog. It's all just amazing to me that you guys get to do this shit, you know? I didn't ever got to do any of it. That's why sex ed to me, it would have to be telling me like that stuff, like how to work my OK Cupid account, right? Isn't that how you get laid now? Yeah. I don't know. You have to use some sort of program to get laid. You can't
Christian
just
mingle. Yeah.
you can't just use your voice and your charm.
Yeah.
You have to be a good texter.
But I never could use my voice or charm.
No? Are you a
No.
better texter?
Usually, yeah.
Charming-
If I got a little time to think about it and build a narrative or something, or like what my move is going to be. There's going to be a thread to this, or
Oh, yeah.
sometimes I go too far and think about it too much.
Yeah. But you are creative and entertaining and
Yeah.
funny, so like that you can use all that for your.
I can kind of bounce it around and.
What's your main thing for the girls, Steve? Like when you're trying to attract the women, what's your main allure for the ladies?
I learned how to play guitar because I wasn't into sports.
Yeah.
Similar story.
It really, because
It works.
but don't you think that if you're gonna attract women through sports, you're gonna attract a different kind of woman than you're gonna attract through music, or is it the same girls?
I don't know. There's women that really like sports, and then there's women that really like musicians.
Yeah, so
I'd rather be with a chick who likes musicians than sports.
me too.
Yeah.
But I'm neither of those things. But if I had to pick between the women that fall around the jocks or the women that fall around the bands, I would much rather hang around with the girls that hang around the bands
Yeah.
than the girls that hang around with the jocks. Because it seems like those girls that hang around the jocks are just going to get like constantly raped. Doesn't it seem like that? Like those guys are not the best people to hang around with, you know?
Yeah.
But maybe the musicians would do the same thing too. I have a prejudice in my head because I never played sports that everybody that plays sports was just like a really bad person who would just like, you know, I've been
There's,
mostly right about it.
There's musicians getting Me Too'd and stuff now too.
Oh, sure,
For the,
yeah.
the dude from Tool,
Yeah.
we had like a minor
Maynard.
thing. It was just like through Twitter kind of a thing. So you're like,
Yeah.
is this anything?
Yeah, like can you imagine like all the bands from like the 80s, like the hair metal bands or something
Oh
like
my
that?
god.
Like if anyone came forward in those days, like everything would be awful.
Well, the famous Zeppelin story isn't the old mud shark story of
Yeah.
them putting like
The red snapper.
the red snapper up the snapper. I'm assuming is
Up a
what
girl's wazoo?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Flopping around.
do that
in.
today. See where
Yeah.
it gets you.
Though I did hear a fairly modern story. I think it was Tom Segura, the comedian, that was talking about. He was somewhere and they were watched Wu-Tang Clan. And a girl went in to go suck one of the guys from Wu-Tang Clan's dick or something. And then
Dirt Nasty. Or no, who am I thinking?
I think she sucked in.
Old dirty bastard.
I think she ended up sucking all their dicks, and they were, and she came out crying, and she said they were all really mean to me. And then,
You
and
listen
he
to their
was,
songs.
and then he was like, do you want like to do anything about it? And she's like, no, I knew what I was doing or whatever. Like I agreed to it, but it was just horrible. Which is like I shouldn't laugh because it's terrible. But I mean, she put herself in the position to be fair.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there has to be a certain amount of. Like there are dirtbags that are out there. Like there are dirtbags out there that just like work at Jiffy Lube, right?
Yeah, it's a fine line between dirtbags and self-responsibility. I think
Yeah.
of like.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not that fine of a line. It's just there's one or the other.
Yeah, like how like I know like you can stop a powerful guy from sexually harassing a girl, right? Because he's got something you can take from him, right? Like you can take away his power because he's using it incorrectly to get women or whatever. Yeah. And then but you can't do that to a person that doesn't have anything. Right? It's just some schmo that treats women like garbage. How do you ever like stop like a guy that just comes on to women against all the time? Like, isn't that just something that's human, like part of the human experience? Like, I'm not condoning it by any stretch, but isn't it just like even ugly people have to try to get laid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because they're looking for companionship. If you do it wrong, you're now like a criminal,
Yes.
right? If you like, so how?
But people use their positions of power like in order like.
Oh no,
You do. Oh, sorry. Am I?
oh no, I'm just saying like positions of power. I get it. Like that.
Okay.
That's different. That's wrong. Like I'm talking about like just a regular dude, like Aziz Ansari, for example. Like the girl had a date with him, and he was a little too creepy for her taste or whatever.
Mm.
But like nothing ever came of it. Like he didn't make her do anything that she didn't agree to.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still got crucified for it, you know.
Right.
Mm.
And even like, but that guy's that was just like a misstep. It was just like a
Yeah.
bad date,
Yeah.
you know.
Dude's just horny.
Yeah. And now this Chris Hardwick guy, you know, you hear about him?
Yeah.
He's like from the Nerdist, and he was on the show called At Midnight or whatever.
Yep.
And he's losing all his gigs because his ex-girlfriend said he was controlling and abusive and all this stuff.
Ugh.
But it's like she's a fucking jaded ex-girlfriend who's mad or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
there's no trial. There's no two sides of the story. It's just like he's already lost his job, and there's no way to get back from it.
Yeah.
It's like pretty horrible just from one accusation.
It's true. It's
I swear to
crazy
God,
what-
I think I will be famous someday because I will be the only person who hasn't done anything. but then my wife, they'll get at my wife,
Yeah.
and they'll start asking her questions. Has he ever been mean to you? Has he ever raised his voice? Has he? And then they'll find something if they really want to take me down. That's going to say like he's not always been nice to women. He's been sometimes not nice to them. I'm like, yeah, because I'm
People are-
human.
People are
Yeah.
not mean, or people are mean to people sometimes.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah, isn't that the case though? You know, where's the slack that you grant people,
Mm.
and especially if you're in the public eye. Steve, you're trying to say something. I interrupted you twice,
No,
right?
it's all right.
Do you know what it is?
I have no idea.
Okay, good. I'm sorry. I just did it twice where you piped up, and I was like, I just plowed through you. Sorry.
It's all right.
Anyways, but I was like, I thought that. No, I lost it too. But I thought that fuck it. I don't know. I don't know. The Pete Davidson one really bothers me though. Like, I can't understand it. And then they interview him too. I'm talking about Ariana Grande.
Oh,
These
okay,
two.
yeah.
I looked at his
Those
picture again. I bounced back to it. These two again. These two. This guy was on like Jimmy Fallon talking about it. All he said was, "How is it like to be engaged to this hot girl?"
Mm.
He's like, "It's lit, man.
Lit.
It's lit, man. It's great."
That's the best response you could have gave.
It is actually pretty cool. Actually, I think that's good.
Lit.
It's just so.
Yeah.
It's like who else would be historically, like if you think about famous couples. Kev, you got any out of your league women? Oh, I think of
Well,
one
I think-
I saw you with that I think was way out of your league.
There are two women that I dated that were out of my league.
Yeah.
Do I know one of them?
Yeah, she was your age. So
Yeah,
and
okay.
that one was clearly because she was years older than me. How old are you, Braden?
30.
So 30,
Thanks.
and I'm 26. So she was 4 years older. Not that much.
Yeah, but when you were younger though, it's
Yeah,
a
so
big.
she
Those are
was
big 4 years.
26 and I was 22. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 26. I always thought 27 was a perfect age. When I was 18, I always thought like 27. You know, and then when I was 27, I was pretty happy. Then when I was older, I was like 27 is still pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess it holds up because you just experienced enough. You know.
Glad I got past 27.
Yeah.
Be that in that cliche club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I like all ages. You know, I've been lucky enough because I've been able to have experiences with women of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been the same woman every age
That's right.
so far, up until my wife's age, and then I have to wait to bang a 60-year-old. But I'm hoping to do so.
There you go.
it's like on Pete's bucket list.
Yeah. Every year on Jane's birthday, I make a check mark on my bucket list. Bang a 45-year-old.
There you go.
Bang a 46-year-old.
No, I've said it a bunch of times about my own wife that being married to the same person for 22 years, it's like I've been with 100 different women.
Yeah.
But it's just her.
It's just the same woman, yeah. It's like you got different body types.
Yeah.
You've got different haircuts. You've got different even complexions because you
Yeah.
get sunburned, right?
That's right.
And you got different smells,
Yeah.
right? That you'll smell.
Baby bodies and
Yeah, I always say like
pregnant
the
bellies and
you know the best sex and the worst sex I've had in the last 20 years is has been with the same person,
That's right.
right? And that's been the easy part. You know, you can sort it out quick. Like, who was I fucking that time? Oh yeah, it's my wife. It's really easy to come up with it, you know. I never have to wonder who it was. You know, I'm always like, yeah, it's Jane. And that's why it screws me up though in my dreams, because I'll even have sex dreams, and they won't be my wife in the sex dreams. It'll be someone like a Scarlett Johansson or something, and then, but she looks exactly like my wife. Like she doesn't look. She'll say, "Hi, I'm Scarlett Johansson," but it's Jane, with her voice, her everything, and it's my dream. And even in my dream, I'm like, this sucks, man, because I know what I should be dreaming now, but you're still my wife. You know, it's all I never get to bang anyone, even in my dreams. You know, still just banging my wife. It's great though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy every minute of it. It's such a gift. It is really. When you think about it, like people that do it all the time, like that have sex all the time. I'm so Catholic and repressed. I don't even know that like people just meet people they just met. Then they'll like, take their naked bodies and push them against each other. And then they'd leave immediately afterwards because they feel shamed about it, right? Is that what you do?
I tried that once when I was in college, and it happened once, and I felt shame after.
Do you do that with,
Not
with a
good at
Tinder
one-night
date?
stands.
What's that?
Will you feel shame at a Tinder date? That Tinder date with the hot girl?
No.
That was great,
I
right?
feel like the luckiest man in the world.
And so what do you do after you're done?
Clean up? I don't know. Like, what do you mean specifically?
Have a smoke.
Oh, like kick her
I
out
don't
of the
know,
car?
lay there for.
Kick her out of the car.
No, I'm just kidding. Did you? Do you spend the night?
This was on the road, so.
Oh yeah. So do
she,
you?
She spent the night, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you just do it in the morning again. And
No way. That's the best.
Yeah, that is the best.
So you get lying around time too, because to me, I almost think I'd like the lying around
It's nice.
time.
I
Yeah.
don't mind it. It's not like I'm not like, ugh, get out now.
Yeah. I wouldn't like be that way either.
Yeah, it's just weird. It
Yeah.
seems mean.
Yeah.
Like you just came over here and.
I would feel like if I knew I made a mistake and ruined my whole life, then I would probably want to get out of there just because I'd feel shame that that I ruined everything.
But it's a no strings. It's like I don't feel any shame about it because it's a no strings attached. kind
No,
of
you're a
thing. It's just
single
like,
guy. You
we
made
know
an
what this
arrangement. It's consensual.
Yeah.
Two adults having a good time. That's
Yeah.
like great. Just hanging around naked, watching a little TV.
Invite a Yorkshire Terrier over,
Yeah,
have a party.
that's right. She gets up to use the bathroom. You smell her underwear. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
All good.
All right. Did it get weird at the end, Jane? Did it get a little?
I think the terrier bit was.
Yeah.
It got nothing.
No peanut butter. I think if you made the
The
if you
peanut butter?
made the peanut butter correlation, I think people would have been on board with the terrier. You just had to give them something to lick.
Yeah. I'm saying I didn't.
You know what? Does anyone have anything to promote? No? We should book Nocturnal Emissions and Pete Van Dyke. You can book us both by going to either of our Facebook pages and just ask us to book it. And we are trying to get a comedy tour going, so we are looking for venues to play gigs. So if you reach out to us, we'd love to play your gig. Laurie, super fan. Hey, do you have anything you want to add to the show? No?
I was gonna add.
Oh,
to
big deal.
The,
Oh,
big
sorry.
Deal.
Go.
Well, the whole comment about the attractive ladies with the guys that you don't think are attractive.
Yeah.
What about the other way around?
Good-looking dude with an ugly girl.
Yeah.
Can you think of any? Can you think of any? Would see Demi Moore and that's a young guy and an old lady, when she went out with that Kelso.
Ashton Kutcher.
But she's still hot, right?
Steve Buscemi probably gets laid. I don't know. Anyone would be better looking than Steve Buscemi.
No, but that's another ugly guy with a hot girl.
Oh, you're right.
I need a good-looking guy with an ugly girl. Name a famous ugly woman.
Margaret Thatcher.
Huh?
Sure.
Roseanne Barr's not ugly. She's a pretty woman.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Lesbian though.
Oh yeah.
We gotta get one that's ugly that how about like Susan Boyle?
Well, see, I don't think maybe ugly. Maybe ugly's the wrong term.
Good
Like
pick.
just an average person, right? An average person that got it, like a hot guy.
average person got a hot guy.
Because that's the thing. I mean,
Doesn't happen. They go for money, man. They don't go for good looks. Or charm. Maybe they go for charm. I don't know what they go for. It's a mystery to me. I only got one. You know how I got her? Early scouting. That's the only way I got her. I got her when there wasn't
Charm.
much of a market for her. And then she became better every year. There became a huge market for her, and everyone's like, how did you get in? I'm like,
you got it.
good
when
scouting.
The
Ground
getting
floor.
was good.
Yeah, I saw the potential you guys didn't see, and I cashed in, baby. And then I used the Catholic guilt to lock her in for the big long term. No big deal. Right, Steve?
That's right.
How'd you get your bride?
The luck of the draw.
Look at you really drew her at like a turkey raffle?
Yeah, there was a fishbowl. It was.
Yeah, whoever got whoever, and you ended up with Leah. That's
That's right.
nice.
Speed dating.
Just never really left.
That's right. what I do.
No, honestly, how did you get her?
Did
Did she pursue you or you pursue her?
she gave me her number?
Ah, the aggressor.
Yeah.
And how did you meet her? What's the setting?
It's a weird thing. Anyway, it was a gas station. She worked at the gas station down the road from where I lived.
Yeah.
And I was going to school, and I had like weird like studio hours in the middle of the night, so I'd be out and about at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I could swing by her and have a cigarette and hang out, and that's where we met.
You talked to her at her work.
Talked to her at her work, but I wasn't the only one. Like there was, I don't know, it was the only thing going on in my neighborhood in the 90s at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was the only thing open, so it was
So you were going there not to see her, but just to go there.
eventually I went to see her, but it started off that I would need gas or coffee,
Oh,
or
yeah.
cigarettes, or
Yeah, and then
whatever.
then she eventually she asked you out because she got the picture. You think that's what it was?
She was taking Christmas holidays, so she was off for 2 weeks and said, "If you want to hang out on my holidays, here's my number."
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was that.
So she did it. She was digging what you were putting down,
Good move, Leah.
right? But it was mostly charm, though. You worked overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't your looks.
Wasn't the one. I didn't walk in and ask her to. I don't know. To
You
date
didn't even
or
play
whatever.
guitar for her, though.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, you did it without guitar.
I did.
Ah, awesome, Steve.
Thanks.
And that's probably why you married her too, because she knew she didn't like you for your guitar skills. She liked you for you, right?
See,
right.
And that's another comment is don't you find that once you get to know somebody, you find them more attractive regardless of
Or less,
right? Well, that's
or less.
so
if they're a
so-
really horrible
so
person.
Here you're making comments about people because of their attractiveness, so how they look on, in a picture. I fucking take horrible pictures. So if that was the case, I would be a shit person to.
No, I know
to
all these
hang
people,
around
but I know all
with
the. I see all these people
when
on TV.
Really I'm fucking awesome, right? So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, models they know the right way to sort of
Pose themselves.
pose themselves and look good, and yeah, they might work out and have a good body and stuff.
But they're just like terrible people.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you look
maybe
at that
the-
Taylor Swift. She dates everybody. She's a bit of a runaround Sue, as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
Right? She likes to write music about all of her ex-boyfriends, doesn't she? She really gets around the block.
I'm just saying that there's a.
I'm just telling you,
There's a
the girl's probably
possibility
a
that they
horrible girlfriend.
Could be a little flat, right? Like they maybe.
What?
They have no
That-
personality
That
or
maybe
something.
they don't have. I don't know.
Oh,
those
yeah.
attractive people.
Well,
that they
actresses
can
too,
get.
like Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, she's like an actress. Like those are the most vapid personalities there are, right? They don't have a personality by design. They have to
They're trying to be somebody else as a living.
as a living, they have to not be
And
themselves.
so, like, what do I need to be in this moment in time?
Even the
right?
pop star Ariana Grande, she's not herself. She's whatever concocted bullshit the company's like cooked
Disney.
up, or Disney cooked her up, right? So she's another blank slate too. So maybe she likes the fact that Pete Davidson's
This
a real
guy's
dude,
Real.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, he can be himself and be happy with who he is.
And
This
I
is
gotta be
awesome,
fake.
right? And I've got to be what these people want me to be.
Well, then let me just put that out there. With the approval of my wife, of course. If there's anyone listening to the show that's super hot and all they want is an average looking older man to have sex with because he's a real dude, well, just drop us a line at livefromthedutchld@gmail.com. We'll send you one over. I don't know who it's going to be. It'll be only on the consent of my wife. It's me.
It has to be mutual.
Yeah, she has to allow me to do so. But I will come over and bang the shit out of you, I promise. That's my promise to you. Okay. We're really mailing in the end of the show. Hey, anything else we got to do? There's no business.
Big deal.
Oh, on Big Deal, yeah. It's again along with this thing, right? I'm so upset with these guys being getting hot chicks or whatever because they seem like they're a big deal, but really they're not a big deal. That's what you were even saying, right? That it could just be drips, right? Maybe if you met Scarlett Johansson, she got bad breath.
These ladies you think that might be a big deal, I don't know if they really are.
Yeah, and my point before the show was I said there's no such thing as a big deal. I've never met one yet. Even people I think are going to be a big deal, when you meet them, they realize they're kind of ordinary. It's a disappointment. You know, I've never been impressed by a person that I've met, like where I've said that person is something special, you know?
Yeah. But we're like,
Have you? And Kevin, you said you might have. A person that there's something different about them. They had something that you couldn't explain or something that was just like a bigger deal. They weren't just like everybody else.
And it was definitely a positive thing. It was inspirational. They weren't self-imposing about it, and they weren't out in the open about it. They were just somebody who was very smart. They were very aware of the people around them, and they were just very I don't know. It was an inspiring thing. It's something that I had never seen in a person before. In a public
I'm glad I could
situation,
inspire
so-
you, Kevin.
I thought he was talking about me the whole time. You know, I think that they do exist. I think they maybe they do exist. I just never run across one yet. Like I haven't run across one yet. But I hear people say it that they'll meet somebody, and they'll be like, that person is you just knew there's something different about them. You hear about like politicians or like Obama or something like that. All those presidents that they had some sort of charisma that you found you become charmed by them, and you didn't know what they were doing.
And you also hear people say, like, in a negative way, like, oh, yeah, that guy thinks he's a big deal.
Yeah. That's the worst, eh? If
Yeah.
you think you're a big deal and you're not a big deal, then that would be the worst, because then you're just sad, right? You're like a sad,
So what
delusional person.
So what qualifies a big deal?
I don't think there is such a thing. I think you have to be like Kevin was talking.
I think it's
He
your own
wasn't
perspective.
Yeah, it has to be to the person. You got to like be a big deal to the. It would be subjective to the person, right?
So
like
yeah.
you'll find a person who's got the qualities that you find admirable to you, right? Like, so if you see a guy who you just would really want to replicate a lot of the things that person shows you, like as a character or even as accomplishments, then that would be something that you'd be impressed by. That would maybe make you think he's a big deal. But then to the next person,
Might not be shit.
they don't care about
Exactly.
any of that stuff. They just care about like
So, like, the Dalai Lama might be, some people consider him a big deal.
a big deal. But if the Dalai Lama walked in here, I'd just kind of snicker at his clothes. You know, I wouldn't be very impressed. He's not even. He's just like. He's a lucky guy that got picked by the whatevers. You know, like
I don't know
By
how
the
that works.
whatevers.
yeah, by the whatevers.
The people who picked that guy.
By the other orange road.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that he's actually a thoughtful dude, and I would love to talk to him because he does seem to think about a lot of things, and I think it would be very interesting to talk to the Dalai Lama. I just wouldn't really particularly care because I wouldn't have him on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And it being a Catholic, even the Pope, you know, the Pope coming in here, I wouldn't care.
I think it's crazy when you think about the kids nowadays. The Kardashians are a big
Ugh.
deal.
Yeah, that's
When
right.
it's like, how did they freaking even get to be a big deal? Like it was because of a sex tape. Like it's like,
Yeah.
like it's ridiculous.
The marketing of the sex tape was more important than the sex tape. The sex tape was really unimpressive,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Well, parts of it were.
Lighting
impressive.
was not the best.
All I'm saying is people think
Shadows
they're
everywhere.
a big deal, but really, are
Right.
they any different than anybody else,
I'm
right?
not gonna make-
No. Now, I mean, I've met a ton of celebrities and like from actors and musicians, and you know, for me, the people they're still just people, right? Like no matter how big a draw they are, they're still just a person. They still
Yeah.
put their pants on one leg at a time and blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
but I mean, there is something like when you're in a room and you know that someone's coming in. Like I worked at the TV station, and Stephen Harper was coming in to do an interview.
So leader of, as he's the prime minister.
Yeah.
So
It was his first televised interview as our new prime minister. So it was years ago. But
It was a big deal.
Did somebody have to
It was-
oil his gears before he started talking?
no, I actually I got to go into a small room and put a microphone on him and it was
Put
like,
it
oh.
on. He's a penguin, eh?
Yeah.
That's what I always think. Stephen Harper.
But I mean, just to, just
Like
to
his
see
Lego
him,
hair.
to watch him walk into the room and the entire newsroom just comes to a screeching halt. And
Oh, can you imagine the chaos with Pretty Boy Trudeau now?
oh yeah,
Oh, everybody was just fawning themselves. He's like Stephen. I still think, if like Stephen Harper, if he so much as said a girl like smell good, he's fucked, because he's so ugly.
yeah.
Because but Trudeau's like always hugs and snuggles and all that stuff. They get away with it. He gets away with it, right? 'Cause he's so handsome. That's why I get away with it all the time.
That's right. That's right.
Grab Steve's butt every day. Doesn't ever said a word.
I'm not saying anything.
See, I told you. All right, everyone, that's our show this week. Thank you very much, Braden DeCooman, for coming in.
No problem.
Thank you, Kev, always for helping us with our sound and being just Kev Belanger. And Steve, you know what?
Pleasure.
What's that, Pete?
Thank you, Steve, also just for being Steve, the reluctant German. And you know what? I want to tell you, your Germans, they lost, and it was the happiest moment of the World Cup for me so far. And I just want to thank you for my hatred of your people to make me feel so good about something when my Dutch people were not in the tournament. So thank you, Steve.
Hey, no problem.
And Laurie, super fan, good directing job, even if it wasn't. And love you for coming in.
Thank you.
And Jane, keep on keeping on, keep trucking.
Keep on keeping.
Until next week, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday. Hit it, boys.